Agriculture, one of Asia's method of living and also building economy. Well, how much do your country invest in agriculture and how is it paying off for you? Okay. Well, today we're going to discuss about Africa's largest rice produce or production per annum. Okay. How much or which African country produce the largest rice per annum? That's what you're going to discuss today. And let's see how much your African country have invested in the agriculture sector or in the rice sector. Let's go. Okay, African Fact Zone. A page on SK Million says Africa's largest producer of rice per annum. So number one on the list is Nigeria. Nigeria produced 8,342 metric tons. Number two, Egypt produced 4,841,000 metric tons. Number three, Madagascar produced 4,391,000 metric tons. Number four, Tanzania, 2,688,000 metric tons. Number five, Guinea, 2,475,000 metric tons. Then we have in number six, that is Mali, producing 2.42 million metric tons. Number seven is Sierra Leone, producing 1.978 million metric tons. Number 8, Cote d'Ivoire, producing 1.659 million metric tons. Number 9, DR Congo, producing 1.58 million metric tons. Then lastly, at number 10, we have Senegal, producing 1.38 million metric tons. Alright, so there you have it, okay? These are your highest African or largest African rice producers per annum in Africa. So as you can see, all these countries are making a huge impact here. Nigeria being number one on the list with 8 million tons per year. Then where Egypt being number second or number two on the list producing 4 million tons. That is highly about 4 million gap between Nigeria and the second place, Egypt. That is so much impressive to see. Well, before we continue with this whole issue or how much Africa are producing their rice and how it have contributed to our living, our livelihood and our economy, we have to also see this comment that was made under African Fact Zone when they shared this page or when they shared this post. See this. Alright, this one came in and says, we want to see African countries on the list of manufactured goods, not agricultural produce. Alright, so this one believes that the production of agriculture in African development is really not that important. Well, see this replied under the comment section when this one says this. This one came in and says, I always thought Ghanaians were genetically intelligent. Then you read this comment. Yo, what do you mean by this? Why are you saying this to all Ghanaians, bro? Well, to his defense, man came in and says, don't be ignorant. Next time, ask someone with a master's degree to teach you a thing or two. Primary sector exports have never led to development. What will help Africa develop is a focus on the secondary sector, i.e. manufacturing. Okay, so a quick one here. This person believes that the investment on agriculture for Africans or African development is not really needed. And he believes that it's a primary source of development. But he believes that we should move from agriculture sector to manufacturing sector. That Africa can actually be producing huge kind of things for sales on a global market. But to you, do you think that agriculture have no significance in Africa's development? What do you think? Do you believe what bro is saying? Which of the two things do you think about? Do you think man have just stated something important here that Africa should rather move to some secondary production rather than dumping the primary production? But even if you are supposed to dump primary production, should it be agriculture? Well, over to you, my lovely listeners or watchers. Let me see what you think about this. But to me personally, I think man was really up to something. Bro smoked something. I don't know what it is, but surely it wasn't something good, because even the most highly manufactured countries still needs to eat. Bro, who doesn't eat? Aren't you a human being? What do you mean no for agriculture? We should not even invest in agriculture. This is no thing to talk about, okay? Well, there you have it. So in the comment section, let me see your takes on this since when this kind of dialogue was happening. It was heated conversation under the comment section of African Fact Zone. What this Ghanaian said that leads to a lot of African countries also countering him with their various perspective. Okay, some people were saying he was right, others were saying he was not right. But to you also, what do you think? To me, I think Africa really needs to improve our manufacturing things, but don't tell me that we don't need to invest in agriculture, bro. We must eat for sure. Africa will eat. Yep, most importantly. Let's continue with this. Alright, so to the source of this information from African Fact Zone stated is Statista 2021. Statista 2021. So they came in with this whole analogy saying that Nigeria are the highest producers of rice per annum in Africa by producing about 8 million tons per year. That is highly insane. Well, when this was shared, let's see how some Africans or fellow Africans thought about this post. Let's go. Alright, so under that same comment section, I also found somebody bringing in more highlights. This one came in and says, interestingly, meanwhile, these are the top consumers of rice in Africa per kilograms per year. Okay, so number one was Guinea-Bissau, weighing about 156 kilograms. Number two is Madagascar, having 148.8 kilograms. Number three is Sierra Leone, having 148.5 kilograms. Number five is Guinea-Bissau, 136.9. We have Ivory Coast, 121.1. We have Comoros with 117.7. Liberia with 116.5. Senegal with 115.3. Benin with 88.6. Gambia with 84%. Cape Verde with 81.9%, then Mali with 76%. Somali have no data. So that was also what bro is saying, that these are Africa's largest consumers of rice per year also. So that means they taking about 156 kilograms per year of rice. Damn, that is huge. And also he also bring his site or where he got his information from, and it says rice consumption in Africa. That is a PDF bro shared. So you can also check it out on X page to see or read about what is actually talking about. So this is what's happening in Africa right now. We are discussing which African country is the highest rice producer per annum in 2024 or in Africa right now, where we had Nigeria being on top of the list with 8.34 million tons per year. Number two is Egypt. Number three is Madagascar. Number four is Tanzania. Number five, Guinea-Bissau. Number six, Mali. Number seven, Sierra Leone. Number eight, Cote d'Ivoire. Number nine, DR Congo. Then lastly, number 10, Senegal. When their sources was from Statista 2021, and it was shared by African Fact Zone, the page on X that talks about Africa and African news. And here you are watching it from Vedashi Studios, where we call it African time. This is my name, Vedashi Studios, and I was hoping and I'm glad you enjoyed this page. See you for more exciting tips or exciting stories about Africa.